Isaiah Likely. Here he is talking about the weapons that the Ravens will have on offense, especially with the arrival of Derrick Henry.
It's electric. Not only do you have Lamar in the backfield, you have Derrick Henry in the backfield where you also have to worry about our run game. And then you have all-pro Mark Andrews where you obviously have to, give credit where credit is due. Then you also have, our great receivers like Zay and Bateman. And then also you have me. So, you have to worry about anybody at any point in time in the offense going the distance. I done showed plenty of times, I guess, now where I get the ball in my hands, the first guy's always going to miss. Mark has showed plenty of times why he's Mark Andrews, the all-pro. Lamar Jackson, he needs no introduction. Derrick Henry needs no introduction. And then you got Zay Flowers, who we call the joystick. So, everybody, when you play the Ravens, you have to worry about everybody going the distance.
They really do have a potent offense, and Derrick Henry is going to provide, I think, a consistency in the backfield. It had been revolving door, different guy, hot hand. They're going to feed Henry, and he's going to be running the ball a lot. Lamar Jackson losing weight, maybe trying to run a little bit faster. Chris Sims had some comments earlier in this week that I think were very reasonable and plausible. Of course, Ravens fans don't want to hear that if your quarterback is lighter than he used to be, he might be more likely to get injured if he gets hit, but that's how it works. The less natural armor you have on your body, the greater the risk of getting injured. So the Ravens have been, this is year 2 of the offense, and it's going to be better than it was in year 1. And it took a while to get going, but there's reason to believe that for as good as the Ravens were last year, getting all the way to the AFC Championship, hosting it, being the 1 seed again, but not punching through, they should be better this year. Yes, they've lost their defensive coordinator to Seattle and Mike McDonald, but Todd Monken's offense in year 2 could be even better. They could be right there in the thick of things again.
They should be. You talk about, a team that's got a lot of continuity. Obviously, the Ravens have that under Harbaugh, and he's been there for years and years and years. And so there's a system at play that in some ways transcends who the specific coordinators are, right? Just because that's what Harbaugh's philosophy is. And so, yeah, Lamar Jackson should be more comfortable in year 2 with Todd Monken as his offensive coordinator. Isaiah Likely should be more comfortable being an offensive weapon in his second year in the system and as he continues to grow as a player. So, I feel like the Ravens should be good, right? They should be great. And they were great last year, but they play in the same conference as Kansas City. And they play in the same division as Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is going to be back. He's going to be healthy. You can't count them out of anything. Cleveland, we don't know what the quarterback is going to be, but other than that, that's a stacked team too, right? Especially they had Jerry Jeudy, and, people can feel how they want about Jerry Jeudy, but he's a talented guy. And Pittsburgh, they're always going to be in the mix. So that's a really tough division, and that's why it's hard to just be like, man, yeah, I totally believe in the Ravens as, they're going to be champions of the AFC North. They're going to win a couple playoffs. I don't know, because that's a division where all those teams could cannibalize each other, and somebody could be left out holding the bag. It's one of those situations.
Well, it's one of the things that we talked about last year with the AFC East. It didn't happen this way. 2 teams made it to the playoffs. But when you look at how good the division is, you look at the schedule out of the division, it could be only one team emerges. That the second-place team isn't going to have a record good enough to compete with the second, third-place teams from the other 3 divisions, may not have a wild card team out of the AFC North. So, and I agree with you. Look, the Ravens kind of have a little bit, not a dramatic, but it's it's a little wobble. And after all, the season is a 1 seed, you kind of expect a little bit of a backslide, but maybe not. Maybe this is all in. Maybe Derrick Henry. Maybe this is their all-in move. Derrick Henry was hoping the Cowboys would call. They were the team that was supposed to go all in. Maybe this is the thing that makes the difference for the Ravens if he's still got enough gas in the tank and can help carry them, if he can be that missing piece. Now, the defense is still going to have to recover from the absence of Mike McDonald, and we don't know. You take away a great coach, you hope that your system, and we've seen it with John Harbaugh since he's been there, they reload when coordinators move on. So they should be fine, but the division is anything but fine if you're trying to guarantee yourself a playoff berth. Let's look at the odds currently for the AFC North. The Ravens are favorites at plus 115. Bengals plus 165. Browns down there at plus 600. And look at the Steelers bringing up the rear. what in the world has happened? What is the world coming to where the Steelers are the long shot, 8.5 to 1 to win the division? All the buzz, all the excitement with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, it doesn't matter. The Steelers are regarded as the team that will be bringing up the rear. Hey, look, bet at your own risk. But if you're looking for value, if you're seeding your money around and you think you can layer bets and you want to spot odds that might be out of whack with reality, 8.5 to 1 for the Steelers to win the division, I think is out of whack with reality.
Oh, mama, I'm in fear of my life, right? Yeah, like I think that you're right on that. You know, it's interesting because, I mean, is there that much hype around Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, like, based on who they've been in the last year or so? I don't know, but when you have a Mike Tomlin there, you know, when you have somebody in Arthur Smith who you know can craft a good run offense, and that's Pittsburgh, right? They want to run the football and they want to run it effectively. That defense still going to be good. They still got TJ Watt. You know, I certainly would not rule out the possibility of the Steelers winning the AFC North because they always are in the mix. Always are in the mix. So, yeah, that's pretty good value, I think.
Well, we talked earlier in this week about the Comeback Player of the Year odds. Now, Comeback Player of the Year can be whatever you want it to be. Coming back from injury, coming back from death, coming back from sucking, as Shereen Williams once said when Ryan Tannehill won it in 2019. But Justin Fields, to me, if you're, again, looking for value, because I think there's a realistic chance Justin Fields is the week 1 starter. Saying Russell Wilson has the pole position, which is what Mike Tomlin said in late March at the league meetings, that is hardly any guarantee for Russ Wilson. You get out there on the field and everything can change. And once Justin Fields is moving the way that we have seen him move, holy crap. And it could just kind of naturally gravitate that way. And this was the big risk. Russell Wilson taking the league minimum because the Broncos are on the hook for the balance of $39 million minus the 1.2 and change that he's going to get from the Steelers. It's a hell of a value for a backup. Mm-hmm. So if somebody else on the roster is better, he's the starter. And Russell Wilson is not in a position where he's going to complain, where he's going to pout. He's got to kind of rehabilitate himself in the hopes that next year, when he's a free agent, he can get an opportunity. And yeah, he's going to be upset if he's not playing, but we've seen quarterbacks get injured. It happened to Fields last year. If he's not the number 1 guy on the depth chart, he just needs to be ready to go because chances are he's going to play at some point. But I think there is, I don't want to say a significant shot, but it's more than zero that Justin Fields is going to win that starting job.
I wouldn't be afraid to say it's a significant shot. I mean, I think based on the talent that we must believe that Justin Fields has, right? The things that he has shown on the field, he is an elite runner, right? We know that. It's can he develop the skills as a passer that's necessary to be a number 1 franchise quarterback? And that's not necessarily something we've completely seen yet. So if he can do that, you know, if he meshes well with Arthur Smith, if he meshes well with Mike Tomlin, if he meshes well with the rest of the offensive personnel, then, I mean, the upside on Justin Fields is certainly more than that of Russell Wilson. So it's kind of like, all right, well, do you play this guy so to make you sure that he's getting comfortable so that, you know, we get a real fair assessment of him over these 17 games? And then, hey, if it works, then we give him a contract, right? I mean, that to me makes a lot of sense, unless he's just, you know, peeing down his leg in practice. Like that to me does make a lot of sense, you know, for the Steelers to say, look, this guy has talent. This guy is showing a lot of progress. He's showing chemistry with our receivers, with our running back. He's a real threat. You know, I would not be surprised at all if he is the week 1 starter for Pittsburgh.
And regardless of any of that, when you look at what they did last year, somehow scratching and clawing their way to the playoffs with Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Mitchell Trubisky as their quarterbacks, with Rudolph leading the way at the end of the season to the postseason, and they actually put a little bit of a scare into the Bills. You blow up that depth chart, and you have Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and Kyle Allen. That is a dramatic improvement. That is why I see 8.5 to 1, and I say, really? Really? This was a playoff team last year, and they have dramatically improved relative to last year, the most important position on the field. Yeah. Again, if you are so inclined, and if you are likewise inclined to listen to what idiots like us might have to say, Steelers to win the division, not that bad of a bet. Justin Fields as a dark horse long shot to be comeback player of the year, crazier things have happened. But again, that is up to you to decide what to do with your discretionary income. And always make sure it's your discretionary income, not the stuff that you need to pay the bills. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and during the playoffs, new customers can bet $5 and pocket $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app and use the promo code PFTLive when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. And again, please wager responsibly. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.